So in Dettol statistics news, you might remember last week, the topic of my childhood favourite thing, a Dettol bath, got brought up, and we learned that Ben this entire time thought it was a literal bath filled with Dettol.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair mistake.
It is. It's fair enough. There wasn't enough context. But a kind person on Twitter, Mr. Matthew Hughes, has done
the recipe.
10 gallons of Dettol, that's it. Don't forget to close the plug. He's done some Dettol maths for us to figure out the cost of actually having a pure Dettol bath experience.
Does that include medical bills or not?
From being knocked out unconscious.
St. John ambulance?
He says the average bathtub can hold 80 litres. Tesco sell Dettol liquid at £3.50 for 750 millilitres, which works out at £4.66 per litre. So assuming you half-filled the bathtub, it would cost you £186.66 per Dettol bath.
Very costly brick to the head, that.
I like to think
really expensive brick.
My mum had the hookup to like wholesale Dettol prices.
Yeah, surely you can get them in barrels
Costco
or something.
card. Brilliant.
I'm just looking up spa days. So how much for a Dettol bath again?
£186.66.
186. Well, see, you could have a spa day for two with Virgin Experience for £119.
And that includes Dettol. That's a bargain.
Well, I don't know if it does. That's the thing. That's the thing. I would have thought, what about a Moroccan spa day? £165.
Ooh, a hummus bath.
Yes, that's what that is. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's news stories about people who bathe in Dettol. It's not just me.
Is there really? Is it like a legit Dettol bath, or is it that, diluted shit that you're on about?
Well, I think this is diluted nonsense. Wow.
Dettol bath.
This is not a news website. This is greenlemon.me, which almost sounds like a very wonky website.
Yeah, it does,
the Green Lemon Party.
I do like it.
This is an entire article based upon a single Facebook post in a random Facebook group. Does anyone?
Sorry, how much was a Savlon antiseptic, a Dettol one?
186.
186 quid. If you used Savlon antiseptic liquid, it would cost you £239.
Oh, that's a premium one.
The premium one, yeah.
Oh, market. Wow. I didn't realize I didn't realize Savlon was like
in liquid form.
Wow. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I wonder how much it would cost to bathe in half a tub of Savlon cream.
Worth every penny.
Mum, 33, says having bath with Dettol in once a week helps keep skin, and I quote, so fresh.
So fresh.
So that's because it burns off the top layer of your skin.
Does anyone else bath, it says, in Dettol? Makes you feel so fresh. I love it, lol, she said when sharing her top tip online. This is from the Mirror, by the way.
So she's not even been bricked. She's just doing it just because.
Not even been bricked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a poser. It cleans grazes and it's really refreshing. I love a Dettol bath. You won't beat it.
Really refreshing. It's not a mojito. Jesus. What's
Wow.
going on?
She later told Mail Online that she also uses the formula to help her son get clean if he's been out playing and gets filthy or grazes his knees and elbows.
I found the worst one yet. Only ever have a Dettol bath if anyone in the family has a stomach bug. We will all have one. What? Just through osmosis, you absorb it and it fixes your tummy bug. Oh,
someone reacted to this mum's announcement online and said, wouldn't like to bath in Dettol. Who would want to smell off Dettol? Certainly not me. I use it on my floors.
Fair enough. I don't want to smell like floors, do you?
No, she got a point there. Wow. God. There you go. Some Dettol facts to open up the episode. Good stuff.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the three us, where everybody brings a thing
along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I stink of floors. I'm Michael.
Oh,
You smell of floor. Look at floor boy over here.
flawed.
Hey, how you all doing?
Pretty
Yeah,
good,
not bad.
thanks. Yeah.
Now that you know how much a Dettol bath costs, are you interested in like upping your dosage or whatever the correct
Rekindling
parlance
your
would be?
relationship with Dettol.
Yeah.
God, there's a bit of me that wants to try a pure Dettol bath. Is that medically advisable? Could that like permanently ruin my skin, or would it leave me feeling so fresh and so clean it would last a lifetime?
There was a video, wasn't there, of some idiot YouTuber who probably has 6 million subscribers who had a bath in bleach. Do you remember that?
Oh my God,
what?
no.
And he jumped out and he thought that he could then just wash it off in the shower, but it sort of cuts from one to the next. It might have been a Vine or something, actually. And he's just going pinker and pinker, and then he's
Oh my God.
on the phone to 911. God knows how much it will have cost him, because I don't think your insurance covers getting in a bath of bleach. And I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he died. No, he probably didn't. But, it's like chemical burns, really. So
Wow, that's hardcore.
you wouldn't be the first to do it, Mikey.
Bath.
Oh, well, I'm not going to bother. I'm not the first. And if someone's doing it better than me, God.
Oh.
How do I do a bleach bath?
Oh, God. So that's an actual thing, is it?
That's for hair, though. It looks like all the results are for hair. I can't find
Okay, that's
the man
fine.
who
That's
went
allowed.
pink.
I'll do a Google.
Yeah, let us know. While you're doing that, I would like to thank this week's Pod Squad. Did you know that you can support us financially? You can. You don't have to, but if you do, we really appreciate it. And you'll also join Pod Squad, which means you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast. If you'd like to join Pod Squad, you can, of course, go to streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. Donate £3 or more to get a shout out. That's £3 British sterling. We are allowing a few through that are clearly in dollary-do amounts, but please, in the future, if you're not in the UK, mind the exchange rate, because, we want to be fair to the people who are paying £3, but we appreciate everybody. Just bear that in mind when you're doing your pod squats. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? I feel like it's fair to say.
I think it's fair to say.
Just blame Brexit. It's Brexit's fault.
It's Brexit. It's entirely Brexit's fault. But yeah, just be aware of the currency when you're.
Have
when
you seen the
donating.
price of pod squads?
Precisely that. It's outrageous. But streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. Thank you so much, everybody.
I found it.
Oh, he's got it.
It's a Mail Online write-up from 2018. I thought it was longer ago than that, but apparently. Vlogger who filmed himself bathing in bleach in his dumbest ever stunt is slammed online for setting a bad example to followers. Vlogger Carmi Silito. Have you guys heard of that guy? Shocked his fans by claiming to bathe in some bleach. I'm just scrolling down to see. Oh, he sticks his face in it. That can't be real.
Oh, the eyes.
I don't know if this is the same video, but anyway, certain people have definitely claimed to. This guy I think is faking it, but other people have definitely done it on the internet. I've seen the guy go pink. There's also an episode of My Strange Addiction in which someone bathes in bleach. So
Cute.
yeah,
Wow.
This is a strange addiction.
It's a wonderful world.
Mikey,
Hello.
I believe you have the first group for the Pod Squad this week.
Pumpy Platoon. We start with the magical, the graceful Keith Chegwicks. Sorry, let me do that again. Keith Chegwicks. Wicks. Tommy the Master 80 Engine. I know it was a stretch. River Fox is now 30. Congratulations.
happy birthday.
Alan Claw. Fundamental ferret funding. Thank you. Like a shot out of hell. Like it. Barry B. Benson does pizza. Cheggers plays plops. And the generous, that one birthday boy Sam, he says, 3 years ago, Ben gave me a birthday shout out on the pod. Since then, I've graduated, moved out, and met the love of my life. And you boys have been there, massacring my donations every step of the way. And you boys have been there every step of the way. This year, can I get a shout out to Darcy, who has made my birthday the best?
Darcy. Happy
Darcy.
friend's birthday or partner's birthday.
Yes, happy birthday enablement, Darcy.
Well done, Darcy.
Happy birthday, Sam. Also, quick point, how good is the camel case going on this week?
Oh, it's
All
strong.
the names.
Yeah, it's looking good actually so far. Yeah.
So far. It could all change.
We'll see where it goes.
Well, happy birthday to you too as well.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Fucking hell, it's hot. Cheggers, hot coffee mod.
No.
Hoy Rodgson's soy bodgson. Somebody once told me. Very nice.
Very good.
The generous Kevin from Con, who says, I keep forgetting to get into Pod Squad on time, but I got it in this time. At least I think I did. And if not, Sammy Miller voice, that's okay. Slaps head. Let me, ow.
Nice, there it is, yeah.
Keep doing what you do, boys. Big love from stateside. Thank you, Kevin.
It's probably worth pointing out that there's no non-time to get into Pod Squad. Like, if you say you missed it by like a minute and we just started recording and then you donated, you'll just be in the next one. Like, we don't miss people, so don't worry about that.
Never.
There's not a donation nether, don't worry.
Yeah.
Large battered Podiots. Just like Jesse James. Spread cheeks, bum piss. Extra 50s worth of Dettol. Hey. Miskalisk and Toast Burn. Thank you all.
Thank you to all those. Tiny Troopers here, beginning with Ben Sidecam. Okay. Right. No witty names on... What? Oh, help.
No. Itty name, Sun Ick Gauge.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. No witty names on Ick Gauge, it seems to say. I don't know. Cheska, Lord Brotovich, pro trainer, who was exceedingly generous and said, here's some of my money for Peter's delayed wedding. I hope you can get a Dick or Dom lookalike DJ, but not both. That would be too expensive. DJing by Dom. That would be what it would say in the credits of my wedding.
Tonight we got Dick on the decks.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Pro Trainer.
Thank you.
Right, thank you, Pro Trainer. The troop continues with Emily Lemons, Stephen Skodes, Kat Deely, N. Les Dennis is on meth, right? Jester the Rogue, Stukalicious, Stoke on Chegs, Brooks Essentialist, Having a Birthday Wank, Freddie Pricer Coles Weber, Specky Becky, Donak 07, the generous Fuckety Fuck, who said, long-time listener, first-time donator, love your content, a pitch for your last episode of Gritty Reboots. Get Your Own Back, where the kids hire Dave Benson Phillips as an assassin, but Dave Benson Phillips still maintains his usual exuberant personality during each mission. Oh, God.
Brilliant.
Bring back the Unity Bar, Katie Kinsolo, who was... Oh, hang on. They're both grey. Is that the bottom one?
That's me just shuffling them around in the
okay,
order.
so and then thank you, Katie Kinsolo. It was also a nice amount, but not the message amount. But also DBP Accounts, who was generous. It wasn't the usual threshold, but it's worth pointing out that the message attached does say reimbursement for costs incurred, 1 star bright. That's from Dave Benson Phillips, accountant there. He's paid us back for the star that was purchased for him by Podiots.
Just glad we weren't paid in Nando's leftovers. Thank you.
Wow. And finally, we have the fast crew. This time we have Finn Tristram, Chegger Gorge, Tiny Peter Backpacker Beta, whatever that means.
Okay.
Spunk Bob Jizz Pants, Willy Wonka's Wank Rag, Shreddy Murphy, the very generous Michael Chegson, who says, I've been very sick lately. You're right.
Yeah, so it's the combination of, it wasn't just that one, but the one before it. What was it? Say those two together?
Willy Wonka's Wank Rag and Shreddy Murphy.
Yeah, those got me.
Oh, good.
I've been very sick lately. I've had an achy, breaky heart and much to think about.
Oh.
I'm infected with the Billy Ray virus. Big fan of Podiots now and forever. Love from Harold Bobbert Hawking.
Thank you,
so much,
Harold.
Mr. Black, Dick and Minge in the bungalow.
Oh, no.
Sandra Bollocks. Scrummy Brummy Yummy Bummy. Very generous Surfer Dog 03 woo wee woo wee, who said, "Hi lads from LA. Been poor for a bit. Happy to give you some back pay for all the months/years I've enjoyed your video/pod pods. I hope to meet you one day for our epic high five."
Yes.
Yeah, boy. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Surfing Dog.
much. Mr. Macca. And I'm Ben. Prince Beefcakes. Just keep swimming, Ash. Dave Benson Chegwinson. No. Mostly Silent Cobb. And the Noel Edmonds Society.
Wow, what
And
a
there we
collection.
are. That is your Pod Squad, an eclectic group. As always, thank you so much, those of you who have decided to support us. It means the absolute world. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, streamlabs.com/Podiots. Donations, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. Mikey, I think it's your turn.
Oh, you're very right. I've got a collection of questions. Would you like to hear one?
Yes, please.
This one comes from Stephen Norris, agent of GRRL, at Stephen _Norrie on the Twitters, and he wants to know, we all know the moon is made from cheese, but what are the other planets made from? Is Mars made of overly sweet chocolate bars? Is Venus made from leg shaving equipment that is always pink for some reason? And dare we ask what Uranus is made of?
Okay.
I'm almost picturing Jupiter. It's juniper that like gin's flavored with, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
a berry.
I should have got my planet facts right. It's a gas giant. Okay, so it's made with juniper gas.
Right.
And you land there and you're instantly intoxicated and you stink of stinky gin.
Sounds like you die there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sounds great.
You're
That's
just surrounded by intoxicating gases.
actually, I guess it's not actually gin. It's just the juniper. Oh, I've screwed it. Well, maybe its core is made of like pure ethanol or something, and it distills out to the outer reaches. So the deeper in, the drunker you get just by breathing. What a holiday!
I think Mercury. Now, hear me out. Is made of Marie Curie. Just
Right, which
loads
bit?
of just kind of it's Marie Curie manifest. Just the entire planet is Marie Curie, Nobel Prize winner and
Is it
discoverer
sentient?
of radiation. Yeah, it is. And actually, when we're not looking, it's actually got a giant face of Marie Curie on it, looking at Earth at all times, like the moon off of the bear in the Big Blue House.
And it's all very sterile on that website. that planet. I forgot the word there. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I just Googled planets to remind myself, and there's more dwarf planets in our solar system than I used to know about. That's mad.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5, aren't there? I think 4 or 5.
Got one called Eris and another called like Maki.
Maki. Well, that's made of McDonald's. Probably.
Maki.
Made of nuggets.
That's what a child says when it wants McDonald's. Maki.
I've just Googled what the moon tastes of.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, it has the taste of, to me, gunpowder and the smell of gunpowder too. That's what it says on a NASA website.
It tastes to me. So someone brought back moon rock and stuck it in the gob.
Yeah, this is. But they did react. It is really a strong smell. Radioed Apollo 16 pilot Charlie Duke. It has that taste to me of gunpowder and the smell of gunpowder too. On the next mission,
God.
Apollo 17, Gene Cernan perhaps remarked, "Smells like someone just fired a carbine in here," which is probably the most American reaction to going to the moon that I've heard. Smells like guns.
Oh my god, that's
Wow, it's a
amazing.
gunpowder smell. That's kind of cool.
So you can't eat that, probably.
No.
Probably.
No.
Mars is definitely a Mars bar, though,
Yeah, it's got to be.
in my mind, I think.
And I'm impressed with the Venus one. I think that's got to be women's shaving
that's a good
equipment too.
Yeah, I think that one's been answered for us.
I couldn't even begin to imagine what Earth tastes like. Only imagine that.
Well, some people eat mud, don't they? Right? That's a thing that some people can...
Yeah, that is
It's an illness, right? They just start eating mud. It's like a parasite or something like that.
Have you ever eaten mud yourself?
Not intentionally, no.
I feel like I've definitely stuck some in my gob before as a child. I mean, because of course. But
Well, yeah, you got to try it, haven't you? That's what Dettol bath's for.
yeah, it's just a Dettol mouth bath afterwards, and you sort you right out.
Apparently, space has a smell, and I don't really understand how that works because surely it's a vacuum. But I've heard about this before, that space has a smell, and they're saying it's like hot metal and seared meats.
It's like a barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh, adorable.
And that's based on things reported by people on like spacewalks and stuff, astronauts.
I feel like I was worrying that a smell can permeate a spacesuit, though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'd be really, really concerned.
That's very weird.
Oh, there we go. We've conquered the universe and the solar system.
Oh yeah, Tim Peake, that British astronaut, says it smells like a British summer barbecue, burning sausages on a charcoal grill.
Wow!
Why do you have to specify the nationality of the barbecue? That's so weird. You just say barbecue.
British barbecues have a very sad tinge to them, I think, like as we portrayed in our Fallout video.
I think we've made them look wonderful, quite frankly.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you.
Who would like to present their thing? I'm happy to present. That's it. It's at the end of the podcast. We've got things, just don't want to share them. These are our things. I'll go first with my thing then.
Sure.
This is a tale, a real life tale, titled "The Bear from Waterford."
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. You realise why I brought this along. Well, as the story progresses.
And then the bear shat itself to death.
Yeah, it's probably fart related.
Actually, it's not. For once in my life, I've done something not related to farts or poops.
Okay, we'll see.
So
I don't believe you.
You keep waiting. The story starts with a quote. Well, it's not like an inspirational quote. It's just a factual quote to set the scene. I just don't want to overplay it. Privileged young graduates of 16th century Europe pioneered a trend wherein they travelled across the continent in search of art and cultural experiences upon their graduation. This practice, which grew to be wildly popular, became known as the Grand Tour. Matt Rosenberg. So it's kind of like gap years for old
Jeremy
people.
Clarkson.
Yeah, same thing. So the Grand Tour was essentially a rite of passage for the very wealthy youth of the 16th and 17th century. I fucked that up. It was a wealthy youth of the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. Usually, after finishing university, the young man or woman would travel all over Europe and beyond. The idea was that they would get to see the things that people at the time only read about in books. Nowadays, if you read about that's good. Sorry, I just copied this straight from our website. That's a good sentence. If we read about a picture, as you do, or a piece of music that we have never heard of, we can simply Google it. And back in those times, if you read about the pyramids, the ruins of Pompeii, Venice, or any specific piece of art, you had to imagine it in your mind's eye. Oh, I guess that makes sense. It was before printing, so you'd hear a text description of a picture. Sorry, I didn't mean to bash you, the writer of this article. I'm wrong yet again. So this was all impossible unless you came from nobility or a very wealthy family. If you had the means, then you could travel to see these places and things in person. This allowed the person traveling the joy of seeing the things that they previously only read about in books, but in person. But as well as this, when you are so wealthy, sometimes you need things that money cannot buy in order to impress your peers. This is what the Grand Tour afforded the very, very wealthy. It allowed them to buy culture. And after returning from their Grand Tours, imagine the stories you'd have to tell. This is how Roman architecture found its way into the living rooms of Irish homes. It is how we have Chinese, Japanese, French and Italian items in our homes today. We have them because they were brought home first by teenagers from their Grand Tour. This is also true of plants and flowers that have worked brilliantly in some cases but have been a disaster elsewhere, as many invasive species of plants were brought back to Ireland by very well-meaning but ignorant teenage botanists. There's an Irish slant here which will soon become apparent. Similarly, at this time, people that were not wealthy had to find alternative ways to travel. If you were inquisitive in nature or intellectual, the priesthood was often the answer. The priesthood would allow you to travel as a missionary and see the world. Enter Arthur O'Leary. Born in 1729 in Dunmanway, meaning he was born in the middle of the penal laws in Ireland, and the penal laws were an indescribably difficult period in Irish history, and many people, if they survived to teenage years or even adulthood, would look for a way out of Ireland by any means necessary. For Arthur, this was the priesthood. He decided to move to France. He practiced as a priest as well as becoming a writer and a political commentator, so he did quite well for himself after fleeing. Over the course of time, he became particularly well known for the aforementioned, but mostly for the fact that he travelled everywhere on foot. Below is a quote from the book, Irish Footprints Over Europe, in which Father O'Leary features heavily. Or is it Friar or Father? It's just FR dot.
FR, I think it's Father.
Okay. Father O'Leary. Friar. Yeah, I like Friar. We'll just call him Friar. Screw you. O'Leary, during his 25 years sojourn, oh God, I should have translated some of this to me speak. 25 years in France, used to spend, what's sojourn? Sojourn?
A jaunt.
A jaunt. Is 25...
Well, journey. Really,
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Oh, yeah, it's got journey in it. Okay. Sorry, I'm so good at reading.
Michael, we're having a wonderful time.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear. Thanks. During his 25-year journey in France, he used to spend his holidays exploring the country on foot. He used to walk from the convent of Saint Malo to the feet of the Pyrenees, or promenade all the way to the gates of Paris, to the banks of the Rhine, backwards and forwards within a month. So he's pretty
Dirty
hardcore.
Bastard. What was he doing in the convent? What was he up to there?
As he was walking along the quays one evening in French town name, which I'm going to struggle to pronounce, Boulogne-sur-Mer, he noticed a huge crowd gathered in a semicircle. When he walked over to investigate, he saw that the crowd was being entertained by an incredibly well-trained brown bear. The bear was on a leash and was performing several tricks for the crowd in return for money. Everyone was fixated. Father O'Leary had planned to stay in Boulogne-sur-Mer for a few days, and he noticed over his stay there how popular the bear had just become. O'Leary went down to the quays every day during his stay. Every time he went to the quays, the bear was there performing with his owner by his side. Over the course of his time there, Father O'Leary noticed that both the owner and the bear were on the quays entertaining huge crowds for very long periods of time. Wow, that repeats a lot of information. The bear was on the quays a lot, and as was Father O'Leary. There we go. He noted in his diary that the bear was exceptionally well trained and was performing tricks that were enormously impressive. The bear had learned to nod back to you when you waved at it. When given a clock, the bear was able to point to the hour of the day that it was at that time. O'Leary noted in his diary that the bear was now so popular that it was bringing crowds from neighbouring towns and villages. On the fourth and final day of his visit, Father O'Leary, again, went down to the quay to see the show, and the bear and the trainer went went down to the quay to see the show, and the bear and the trainer were enclosed in a giant circle of spectators that were tossing money into the trainer's basket in return for ever more elaborate tricks. By now, the bear was very obviously tired. It began to lie down between tricks, and whenever it did, O'Leary noted that the trainer would poke it with a sharp stick and get it to stand up on 2 feet. On one occasion, instead of rising to its feet, upon being prodded by the stick, the bear roared. It roared in what seemed to be a language that no one understood, except, of course, for Father O'Leary. The bear had just shouted something in Gaelic.
Wait, what?
Come on.
Hang on a minute.
Father, hang on, please.
Come on.
You've been out here too long. Go home.
Come back to the convent. You're being ridiculous. The bear was now screaming at its trainer in what appeared to be the Irish language. Father O'Leary, not believing his eyes or ears, shouted at the bear, and let me try a bit of Gaelic, Conasata tu a cara, which translates to, how are you, dear? Upon hearing this, the bear stopped, turned towards Father O'Leary, still standing on 2 feet, and replied, Maith, goreb math agat.
Fuck.
Translates to... Yeah, you get that, right? Which translates to, well, thank you. O'Leary, in disbelief, leaves the promenade and requests to see the mayor of the town. The mayor and Father O'Leary return, and O'Leary strikes up a conversation with the bear to demonstrate to the mayor upon hearing this. The bear's trainer drops the lead and sprints away from the scene. And it turns out that the bear was in fact just a monolingual Irish speaker from Watford.
What?
But what?
But it's a bear. What?
It's a bear.
Don't worry, it's all going to be explained. Just he was from a famine-stricken area in Waterford and had gotten work on a boat as a labourer.
As a bear.
As a bear. Okay, no, it was a man in a bear suit, much like our beloved
the
Coco.
gorilla.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. It was a poverty-stricken man who was seeking work. He got on the boat and was travelling from the port in Waterford to Spain, where it got into difficulty in the ocean. When the boat capsized, he was able to keep himself afloat at sea by holding onto the boxes that the ship's cargo was being transported in. Eventually, he was found by a fisherman and taken advantage of when they got to land. He was sewn into a lifelike bear costume and made to perform on the quays.
Jesus.
That is so like, yeah, and by the sounds of it, it was like he was locked in there as well. Like he was not having a good time. They paid the man for his efforts in food. So it's not all bad, I guess. It could be worse.
Still pretty bad, but yeah.
A little bit. Father O'Leary asked him why did he allow this to continue, and his reply was that he didn't mind because he had enough to eat.
Jesus.
God, Jesus.
That's insane.
He's give him snacks. The man will do anything, I guess. As far-fetched and bizarre as the story sounds, it became much more believable when you look at it through the eyes of a 17th century poor village French villager. Unlike the wealthy and nobility previously mentioned that might have seen the bear in a grand tour, the villagers of this town simply would not have, so they were unaware of how a bear should actually look and act.
Yeah.
And so they just took what they were seeing at face value. And that's the story of an older historic version of Coco the gorilla. It's what's the guy's name again? Timothy? Wait, did he even say his name? Do we know the man's name?
The man inside Coco the gorilla. I don't think we've ever named him.
No, the bear. No. Well, the Irish man in the bear is the historical analog to Coco the gorilla.
It is.
Bear Ryan. Brian.
Yeah, I like that. There we go. We'll go for that. So there we go. Brian the bear.
I've heard of that being the other way round, where there's
It was a bear inside a man costume.
Yeah, well, almost. There's a thing called the pig-faced woman of Manchester Square or Trafalgar Square or something, and it was this quote-unquote pig-faced woman. It was supposed to be like a Victorian freak sideshow thing that they had, really exploitative.
Oh God!
But it wasn't a pig-faced woman. It was just a bear that had been shaved and put in a dress and walked around on two legs.
Oh, that's mental.
But people were paying to come and look at this woman. Well, they thought it was a woman. It was just a bear with no hair on.
Wow, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I'm glad we've evolved from putting men in bear costumes and shaving bears for our entertainment.
Oh, she's beautiful.
That's just a drawing of a woman's body with a pig's head on top. That's probably not what she looked like at all.
What's going on with the ears? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like one's half drooping down the face. You never know. It could have been a very slim bear with an incredible physique.
It's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why not? There we go. That's my horrifying thing.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Michael.
That you're very welcome. So there is truth to the Coco the gorilla conspiracy. Not that it's a conspiracy. It's a confirmed fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Shall we move on to a question?
Yeah, let's
sure.
do it.
Sinclair at ho_Bert on Twitter has a very important question. If you came with a dipping sauce, what would it be and why? I guess we have to establish first what's being dipped into this sauce. I think that's important.
That's true. Actually, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I when I hear dipping sauce, I assume pizza or something of that kin.
Oh yeah,
nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh God, nuggets.
Nuggets. Yeah, I gotta have nuggets.
Oh yeah, forgot about nuggets.
Gotta have nuggets.
My first thought was that you'd be talking about Doritos or like tortilla chips.
That's true.
But I do like a pizza dip. myself.
Well, let's just try and think of just an all-rounder in the dip world, something that can be used for anything from your British barbecues to just dipping your moon rock in for a bit of better, extra flavour. There we go. Dettol. Oh God, what does Dettol taste like? I must have got it in my mouth at some point.
Yeah,
Dettol
there's still
in your
time. Try it. That's a thing
true.
for next time.
I tasted. Yeah.
Can I propose the extra 50's worth of garlic sauce? That's the name of it, and it's basically just Domino's garlic dip, but you just get 50% extra per tub because there's never quite enough. I find
Domino's garlic dip is so good. In fact, I don't know if you remember, Peter, but I tried it for the first time shortly after moving to Newcastle after you and Amy insisted it was really good.
Oh, wow.
And I'd been throwing it away for years.
I can't believe it.
What is this? I don't want that. Horrible.
Wow. I just assumed you had a lifelong affinity for the sauce, but no, it was a relatively new addition.
This guy got me on it.
Well, when we lived in Bristol and we used to, as a 2 or 3, all go and get Asda pizzas from the counter where you can they'll make one for you. I used to, that Asda was on my walk home, and sometimes I would be like, I fancy a Domino's tonight, but I can't really afford it or justify it. So I would go in, make a custom pizza at Asda, and then go across the road to the Domino's and just buy a 50p dip and take it with me. And it's basically the same experience. The best part about the Domino's is the dip, and the worst part is the diarrhea. And you don't get the diarrhea if you have Asda pizza, but you do get the dip.
What causes the diarrhea? Is it the dip, or is it the meats or the cheese? I still haven't narrowed it down.
I think it's sort of the combination of all the
probably
the grease and the salt and the sugar,
internal lubricant. But we did that. I think a couple of times. You and I remember doing that. Whenever you get Domino's, you got to you got to dop up. You got to top up. on your
extra dip or two.
Your bips and your bops. Yeah. So when you don't want to get the diarrhea pizza, you can get a different pizza and still enhance it.
Exactly.
Give your weary bum a rest. I like that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So that's my idea. Is literally just extra 50's worth of Domino's garlic dip.
Those Bean Boozled jelly beans.
No.
So you get it's either a tasty flavour like strawberry or rancid flavoured like vomit.
Yeah.
It's luck of the draw. You don't really know what you're going to get until you have it.
And there's grass cuttings and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, it's all gross flavours. I want to do that and ruin people's teas with Dip Boozled.
Random Dip Boozled.
Yeah.
I like that. That's great.
What dip flavourings would you have? Which good ones, which bad ones?
Good ones would just be a pizza flavoured dip. So it's just more pizza for your pizza. Bad ones would be ferret musk.
Oh, God. Ferret musk.
Fucking hell. In liquid form.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, we got sent liquid ass in Podiots, in Vidiots, which was cruelly taken away from me.
Yeah, I was not sorry. I still feel bad about that, but I was not taking any risks because I could not conceive of a situation where the liquid ass would be deployed sensibly.
I'm very responsible with my liquid ass deployment, Ben. It's fine.
I just threw it away.
I'm over it.
Okay, if you're sure. It doesn't feel like you're over it, but if you're sure.
Yeah, but I think I'd take liquid ass, crystallize it, and then mix that in with mayo to have liquid mayo ass. That'd be nice. Yeah.
I think there were some Bean Boozleds around the office at one point. I think Hat Films or someone had some.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they got some for a video, and I think they were offered round, and I didn't really dare take the risk. I could maybe go for a white one because that's either coconut or baby wipes.
Yes,
and I'm not saying
the blue one sounds good too.
Berry blue or toothpaste. Yeah, those aren't so bad. I'm not saying I'd really want a toothpaste or baby wipe flavored bean, but I forgot that the idea is that the beans are there's a good one and a bad one of each color. So yeah.
I wonder how many of these they actually sell because no one can eat these recreationally. I'm going to treat myself to a handful of stink sweets. That doesn't sound nice, does it?
On the Tesco groceries website, they've got a 4.7 star rating with 460 reviews.
Wow.
It's okay, says a Tesco customer. Well, I'm doing a challenge.
It's okay.
It's okay.
There are some of those that I wouldn't even want the good flavour. I mean, I wouldn't want chocolate pudding. but that also you might end up with canned dog food. But also the skunk spray one, its partner is licorice, and I'm not a big fan of licorice either, like aniseed. So
aniseed sucks. You'd lose out on either way there. Actually, I think ferret farts are essentially, it's the same thing, although slightly weaker, as skunk spray. So someone's already beat me to the punch there. They've already put it into food. I'll have to try that.
Wow. I'd just go with barbecue sauce in answer to the question. You can't go wrong with barbecue sauce. It's nice.
Oh, look at you being sensible.
Yeah, there we are.
What about that Szechuan sauce? Am I right?
Do you remember?
I'm Pickle Rick, everyone.
Do you remember
Funniest
it?
shit I ever
Though?
saw.
Do you remember how funny it was?
Yeah, when people like marched into McDonald's and stood on the desk and said, "Hey, I'm not leaving without my Szechuan."
Hey, we all did that. All of us, holy warriors in the high level IQ war.
You do have to have a pretty high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
It's just the funniest fucking show. I would kill people for that show. I think actually just murder them.
When that show gets taken off the air, there's going to be riots in the street. It's going to be Joker, but real.
Yeah, I'll be at the front. I'll be at the front, romanticizing mental illness, just like in Joker. You remember that one? That was fun. That was a funny film too.
I'm Pickle Ben, everyone. Fuck you, I'm Pickle Ben.
It's so sad because Rick and Morty is genuinely excellent, and you can't really say if you like it much now anymore because people ruined it.
It's been tainted.
I saw we were out getting food at the weekend, and like a dad in a stroller wearing a bright green Rick and Morty t-shirt strolled past, and it was just like, he may
have been bought that though. To be fair, like any family member gets a whiff of you liking something that's highly merchandised. True. That's it. You just get it, like the worst merch for Christmas and birthdays and stuff.
You like Rick and Morty, don't you? Says Grandma as she gives you a Back to the Future 2 t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. You must have had some absolute stonkers of Star Wars presents over the years, Peter.
Ooh.
Especially when the new trilogy came out.
Yeah.
Did you get a Baby Yoda?
No, I've not had a Baby Yoda yet.
I love a Baby Yoda.
I've had some Baby Yoda socks. In fact, am I wearing them right now? No, I'm not. But I've had some... Oh, yeah, I got... These weren't bad, but they were interesting. We got sent some socks, do you remember, Ben, to like Tat or whatever it was, like a triple jump. And I got some Boba Fett socks that had capes on them.
Yes, you did, yeah.
Which was, like I say, that's by no means, I'm not saying that's like the worst thing I've ever been sent or anything like that, but it was just strange. I was like, oh, cool, Star Wars socks. And I was like, oh, they've got capes on them. Okay.
Wow, it goes so fast in these.
Yeah, speed and style.
That sounds badass.
Yeah, you can't wear those inside out. They're tickle.
They would. And you can't really wear them in the rain because they'll drag through puddles.
That's true. How long was this cape? Was it going all the way down the back of your shoe?
It went down to the heel, I think. Yeah.
Wow. I'm clearly misremembering it. Incredible.
It's a free way to get water at the end of the day. Just squeeze out all the puddle juice.
Oh, yummy.
That's the stuff.
Thank you, boys, for indulging in the sauce. Who'd like to do a thing?
Breaking poos.
Oh, did it.
It's not actually breaking. This poo was broken some months ago. It's February 2021, but it's one of the better poo stories available right now. If you search poo news at the moment, all you will get is about the biggest human poo in history on record. It's like a fossilized Viking poo riddled with parasites. It's absolutely enormous. It's like 1,000 years old. And that's all over the poo news scene at the moment. So I had to go a bit further back. Had to dig through some old poo.
Oh, ladbible.com/poo. You know, you could do that.
Yeah, but they're all 3 years old, the most recent stories.
Oh, I found it. I found what you're talking about it. Oh my God.
The Viking poo. Have you got it?
Yeah. Is this it? I'm sending a photo. Is that it?
It's like mounted on it. Yeah, that's it.
That's horrifying.
Looks almost phallic, doesn't it? It's got like a...
I don't know if we can post a photo of that on Twitter.
No, just imagine a log and you're not far off.
I'll put a photo of a log. Do continue.
Yeah, okay, just do that. So this is according to leicestermercury.co.uk. I guess it's a local Leicester or Leicestershire website, news website. Woman shocked when sofa throw from Dunelm comes complete with a poo attached. Little subheading underneath. I got some kitchen roll and felt that it was dried on and recently attached to the throw. There you go. That's a little taster there. For what's to come.
Okay.
This is written by Adrian Trufton or Troughton, one of those weird GHT sounds in the English language, which has about 6 different pronunciations. Here we go. A woman was shocked when she ordered a sofa throw from Dunelm and it arrived with an added item. Tamsin Kelly says she was disgusted when she unwrapped the £21 pink throw on Thursday to find what she claimed was a poo the size of sausage attached to the item. That's what it says.
That's amazing. Good.
Yeah. Directly underneath that, there's an advert that says, "Do you recall seeing an ad for Vodafone recently?" Yes, no, I don't know. I'm sure Vodafone are very pleased that their ad was included in this article.
This is what they want.
I could not believe what I was looking at, said the 29-year-old comedian and actor from London.
Oh, that's a bit sus. Could be doing publicity.
For publicity. There is a photo, though, of the poo.
Really? I was going to be my question. Wow.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. In fact, I think there are 2 photos of it. I'll send you the better one in a second. I got some kitchen roll and felt that it was dried on and and really attached to the throw, not recently attached. I did wonder about that when I read it before out loud. That how did she know it was recently attached if it was dried on? Anyway, it continues. It was gross and it stank like fox poo, specifically.
Wow.
Tamsin said she wrapped the throw up and put it outside the front door. I tried to contact Dunelm about it and they finally got in touch, she said. They said they would send me another throw, but I don't want another throw from them. I want a refund, and I think I will get a throw from somewhere else, and hopefully this time it will not come with anything extra. I always knew I'd get a poo in the post one day, but thought it would be because of my terrible personality, not my love of soft furnishings. I just want Dunelm to get in touch with me and to tell me that they did send a poo in the post and that they are sorry about it.
For fuck's sake. You're right, Mikey. I think this stinks, but not in the way that they're implying.
Yeah, but I will show you the photographic evidence. So if it is faked, she did have to go out of her way to get some poo from outside and put it on her throw, which is...
He says you have to go outside to get poo, Peter.
True.
You're a living, breathing poo factory.
You're right.
You are.
You're right. It's easy to forget, but I would also quite like some compensation because it was an upsetting experience. It actually says because it was upsetting experience, but whatever.
Good.
I can still smell that poo, she says. The picture is then enclosed. Here you go. There is... the poo.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Just a little Cadbury's mini finger, yeah.
It is. It's just a little piece there and a
Swiss roll.
tissue.
It's a little nug. Cute. I mean, it's hard to say from this distance. It's brown.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
There's a close-up of it. Do you want to see a bit more?
Why not?
Detail?
Not really. Yeah, go on.
No. Well, there it is.
Oh, yeah, that's shit.
It's not even a very good photo. It's on the edge of frame.
Almost it's photoshopped.
The best thing about this article and others like it is just how much filler there is and how much they repeat themselves. Because we're now about 2/3 of the way through. We've seen a photo, and the caption underneath the photo is, Tamsin Kelly ordered a throw from Dunelm and it arrived with a poo stuck to it. Which is,
is that what happened?
We've established that by now. Thank you, Leicester Mercury. The article concludes, a spokesperson for the furnishing company, which is based in Leicestershire, tweeted to Tamsin, "Thank you for getting eye touch with us. I am sincerely sorry to see the condition of which your item has been delivered in. Please understand that it is never our intention to disappoint our customers in this way. I will be more than happy to refund or replace this item for you, dependent on your preference. Can I kindly ask for you to dispose of this item now, if not done so already? Please accept our deepest apologies for the item you have received, and I look forward to hearing from you.
No.
And that is the end of the article.
I'm glad there was a resolution.
She had her reply.
That's like a dream experience to me, is to be like, just work for a week in like the customer service end of some company and just see what comes through that inbox, because you must see some absolute twallop.
Yeah. There's a comment underneath from East Mid Guy, I guess a guy from the East Midlands, who says, "It's not acceptable there, really." That's his contribution to this article.
I mean, that's true, but they're replacing it. That's what that is. Them acknowledging it's unacceptable.
God makes mistakes.
Llama Lamb says, "I was in Primark in Humberside Gate a couple of years ago, and I picked up one of their baskets on the way in. There was a jobby in the bottom of the basket." And that's it, and it's had 2 upvotes.
Brilliant.
There's no conclusion to that story. Just that.
A jobby.
A jobby.
Oh, that's good. Wow, Mr. Jobby. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. The cynic side of me says, who does it like include the name of the comedian and like Twitter handles and all that? Or
it only includes her name, and it doesn't say, she's got a gig coming up or anything like that.
Okay, so it hasn't
more poo
worked.
blankets.
What's her name? We'll do the job.
Tamsin with a Y. Hang on, I've lost it.
oh,
Tamsin.
Tamsin Kelly. TAM. In fact, they've spelled her name wrong because they've put TAMYSN, which is Tamison Kelly.
Oh.
There are 4 typos in that article.
wow.
Okay.
Absolutely diabolical.
I found how recent is this story?
February 2021.
Okay, I'm just scrolling through. This might not be the right person on Twitter who's popped up.
Cornish actor, comedian, writer Tamsin Kelly. I found at Tamsin
Represented
Kelly.
by Noel Gear. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw that one too. I don't know if that's the one.
I think this might be the one. If I scroll down to February,
Yeah.
are you looking to see if the article's been like she's
Yeah.
retweeted it?
Go on, Tamsin, don't let us down.
No, this is not the right
Oh,
time.
no, it is. It is.
What?
Yeah, I found like her on Twitter, and it's got pictures of.
Oh yeah, there it is. February the 10th. I see it. The poo
there
made
it
the
is.
mirror truly my proudest lockdown moment, thanks to all who believed in the poo from the start last Thursday.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
She got a
Ordered
couple of
throw
likes.
from Dunelm. It arrived with a poo stuck to it. Always knew I'd get a poo in the post one day, but I thought it'd be my terrible personality, not my love of soft furnishings.
This might be
and-
real.
It might be, yeah. But, like, nothing seems to have really come of it for her. She's had a few quote tweets, 14 likes.
I mean, the big payoff's right here. She's getting discussed on
Yeah, I mean, part of me hopes she
Podiots.
succeeds now. I hope this is the push that she was after now.
Like
I
that, the
want-
push.
I want Sofa Throw Poo Lady to be on Britain's Got Talent
Yeah.
and live at the Apollo. Sincerely,
looking
like
through her
there's
feed.
nothing I would like more than that.
I want her to make it to the Edinburgh Fringe so that she can star once again in Podiots.
Yes, do the best
Feature
joke.
episode.
There we go.
We can talk about how good or bad her jokes are. I'm just scrolling through her feed to see if there's any like hot takes or anything, but probably not.
Oh, she got a refund and a £50 voucher for her
Okay,
trouble.
now we're
Wow.
talking.
That's it. That's the good stuff. I'm just reading the comments of another news article.
Oh, yeah.
This is a comment from Penisland.
Okay,
Right.
She can poo on my carpet anytime.
Oh, for
Brilliant.
God's sake.
brilliant. There it is.
I don't think
that's
she
been ruined.
pooed on the throw, Penis Land.
Oh, dear. Good.
Ah.
That's brilliant.
Wowee. Incredible.
Thank you, Peter, for bringing more poo news.
You're welcome. I sort of want to at least space them out so that there's never back-to-back poo and maybe even larger gaps than that. But, There will be poo updates as and when. There you go.
You're doing God's work.
Fantastic.
Would you like a question?
Yeah.
Alex Foster at ShaderFox on Twitter asks, if Vidiots had a convention, a Vid-Con perhaps, what would the main events slash attractions be? I'm picturing each of you taking a section of the main hall and designing it as you see fit.
Oh, okay.
I think you'd walk into the Vidiots convention and it would just be like every other convention experience because it'd be filled with tables of D-list celebrities.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You wouldn't know it was the Vidiots convention. You'd think it was like a 1980s, 1990s BBC reunion event or something.
So what would we all bring along to our little VidCon?
I think we should rebuild the Vidiots set.
Oh, is it
So people can take photos on it. You know, all 10 of them that want to do it.
It'd be in the broom cupboard because that's the accurate size of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, and you get your picture with Jeff. Yeah, like the Vidiots experience.
That's it. You'll have. You can also have like members of the Yogscast walk past and not look in ever. just completely. In fact, almost they seem annoyed that you're there.
Hat Films maybe occasionally say, "All right, guys, do you want to do something together?" We're like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to."
Yeah,
and then
but apart from that,
good boys. They're good boys.
Love those boys.
Yeah, I think there'd be like a meet Miley Cyrus table, but it's just the cardboard cutout.
What remains of just her head? That's all that's left now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, what else could we do? We could do a draw the fans, but it would be a bit more awkward if the fan was actually in the room rather than just a submitted photo.
It's done through like one of those priest confessional things, so they don't know who's drawing them, and they just get slipped through, no words, and that's it.
What if everybody who attends has to bring one item of tat?
Oh,
and
my
it
God.
all gets put into a big box, and everybody has a go at opening one random piece of tat.
I like that. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cute. Everyone gets a tat experience that way.
Everybody gets some tat, yeah.
What about a sausage snapping competition? Everyone gets on stage and whips the sausage around until the weird stuff comes. No, that's
the flour comes out.
The flour comes out of it.
What about bumper cars? But there's also several people wearing a cardboard mask of Peter and one of those sumo fat suits.
Or a big Zorb ball.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Oh,
I think there would be a bar, of course, like somewhere in the corner we can go get refreshments, but everyone has to be served by Dave, Irish Dave.
Yeah.
We bring Dave back over. He's there saying, "Guys, want some drinks?"
He has to say it every time in that exact voice.
Yeah.
Don't break from. Oh, we're gonna like the catering van to be the worst games ever meal.
Yeah, just beans and dippers.
Potato smileys. God,
it's like a 3-day event, and all you can get is beige food and like fizzy drinks from Dave.
People would be dying. That'd be awful.
They would.
I think as well there'd be like a little art installation room, like a totally dark room with a TV with the Little Britain DVD game playing, and just for hours every day.
Yeah, just on a loop.
The odd Mark.
What about there's like a red velvet, not red velvet, like a red rope you can cross, and there's like a velvet carpet leading up a flight of stairs, and a giant gold mask, like a face mask. And you go around the corner and you're ushered into a dark room with the biggest, most professional camera setup you've ever seen. And then you're asked a series of fairly basic video game questions, but they're piped into the room over and over again. It's just, don't talk about Hitler, don't talk about Hitler, and you just have to see if you can make it all the way through without accidentally talking about Hitler.
And if you can, which you won't be able to, then you get to replace me on Vidiots and Podiots. But I'm not worried. I endorse that for sure.
There we go.
What about an echo chamber where one person gets to just go into that room and shout out the same question that they want to keep submitting to Podiots over and over again? But there's no one else in that room. No one's going to answer it. If it's not been answered this many times, maybe it's never going to be chosen. Just say it.
Might be time to move on, potentially.
Yeah.
You're welcome to carry on, but it is literally your own time you're wasting. So that's fine.
Well, the 20 people who are aware of that question, that's...
Wow, it just blew their minds. What about, one of those rooms where you can like pay to smash up plates and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
But you go in there like heavily padded up, like you're one of those, like you're training the dogs, like the police dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we hire, I don't know who, but someone really, really big, like massive. And then we put a grey wig on them and they're Barbara Piss. And they just throw you around this fucking room for like 10 minutes. And the more stuff you get thrown into, the more, I don't know, Vidiots bucks you get to spend at the
V-Bucks.
Yeah, V-Bucks. Oh, fuck's sake.
I wanted, just so other people can experience it, but I want to do a McNuggies cake ordering experience where there's like little Asda aisle set up where you pick the cake, you go to the machine, and at the end of the aisle there's just like 3 old ladies. You've got to hand over the receipt and explain what it is. What is this purple arse you're getting printed on a cake?
Or when they hand it to you and it's a picture of, what was that monkey called?
Uncle Fatty.
No, not the one that Mikey liked.
Oh, John Deere something or other.
Oh, Small Monkey John Deere.
Small Monkey John Deere. So the picture that was on the cake was a photocopy of a mobile phone with a picture of Small Monkey John Deere on the front.
Yeah.
And as they hand it to you, they go, "Is that right?" As though there's been a printing error. And we have to say, no, that is actually what I want.
Exactly to plan, actually.
It's not some sort of error in the machine. That is as requested.
Fucking hell.
Vid-Con sounds lit. 2022.
I would go to this. It would be so self-indulgent, but I'd go.
Yeah.
If only, if there were no people there, it'd be amazing.
There was another question that asked, like, if you had like a budget of 10 grand, what self-indulgent project would you pull off? Oh. I think it'd be Vid-Con at this rate.
Yeah, right? Like, we can't, that's not a wage for any meaningful amount of time, but like to maybe just hire someone to put on a small event for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's Vid-Con.
On the way in, everyone gets to choose their favourite video that we've ever done, and in order of ranking, we all sit down in the evening to watch it in like a big cinema.
That'd be nice.
That'd be lovely.
Just the game selection video with the fart over and over again. Speaking of which...
Yes, yeah, that's worth pointing out.
It's the anniversary, right, Mikey?
It's the anniversary. Oh my God. 3 years since I did that fateful Trump, which...
Oh, well, that's not quite what I thought you were going to say. Did you notice that in the comments section of episode 79, Sibling Poop, where we talked about that video, and we talked about Isabel Springer, who wrote the comment in the first place, and we said, "Are you there? Do you still listen? Do you have Twitter?" She's replied,
"You hear me?"
She said... "I don't have Twitter, but I've been with you guys since your first appearances on Name Redundant and followed you to Triple Jump. Unfortunately, I've never been able to post some tat or donate, but it's coming. I have told my friends and patients," and then in parentheses it says, "I'm a psychologist. Yes, you can make a lot of money there, but I keep my prices as low as possible so that I'm affordable for everyone. And a few now follow the ways of the walrus. So at least there's that. Thank you for everything you guys do."
Oh my God.
Isabel Springer, qualified psychologist, tells her patients about Vidiots Triple Jump. That does not... I think you get fired for that.
I was going to say the stuff she could diagnose just from listening to Podiots about us must be... Well, it's so nice to know that she's still among us. And it wasn't, as Mikey will be about to explain, too much for her.
Too much for her.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm supposed to explain something.
It's the anniversary of that.
It's the anniversary. Yeah, is it 3 years now? Or is it? It's 3.
June 2018.
Surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. 3 years since I stood up on that couch, and what you don't see in the video is like the 2 minutes of awkward shuffling in silence while I try to get it out. Well, I truly put the nails in Vidiots' coffin in video. Oh, God. Yeah. That is a life-changing moment. I've rinsed that for all I can get, and we will continue to rinse it.
We absolutely will. Didn't even cost us a viewer, which we thought it did, so looks like we can just go even harder now.
We gained several viewers who are currently receiving treatment from a psychologist. I'm saying nothing regarding that.
Wow. Fantastic.
Brilliant. Amazing. Ben, would you like to present your thing?
I would love to. So people die, right? Sometimes I don't want to say they have it coming, but sometimes people are very silly, right? They make stupid mistakes that we take a step back, Captain Hindsight, and go, well, why the fucking hell did you do that? Surely you would have known what was going to happen. And thus the Darwin Awards were born.
They're back.
Yeah.
People often attribute Charles Darwin and his theory of evolution to people removing themselves from the gene pool in a spectacular fashion, usually through stupidity, right? So they say, oh, that's a candidate for Darwin Awards. I've done this before on the podcast. There is a website called darwinawards.com that has write-ups and keeps track of people who have obviously very sadly and unfortunately died, but usually due to some very stupid mistakes that they have made themselves. So, trigger warning, this does talk about people who have died recently. I have 4 headlines or 4 the titles of stories of people who died last year from various silly things. I'm going to read them to you, just the headlines, and then you can pick one and we'll dive into it and we'll see what happened to this person.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
We've got Pinnacle of Stupidity, a slack robotic effort, As Buried as the Treasure, and Pilot Patrick's in-flight shower.
Wow. Okay.
You're going to have to say that second one again. None of those words were English words.
So the second one is one that I only understood as I read it out loud. I was reading it earlier, like, what the fuck is that? It's slack hyphen robotic, as in acrobatic. I think it's a pun.
Oh, I see.
Slack
Right,
robotic effort. Yes. I was like, do they mean robotic? What is robotic?
Yeah.
So do any of those strike your fancy?
What was the first one, sorry?
Pinnacle of Stupidity.
I mean, I'm sold by that one just because if it's the pinnacle of stupidity, it's got to be good.
Yeah, okay, we'll go for that one.
I'm tempted by that. Yeah.
Here we go. So this was one of the award winners for 2020. 28th of October, 2019, this one, Japan. Hands are numb, but must operate smartphone, muttered 47-year-old Tetsu to his livestream audience as he skidded and stumbled up the snow-covered Shubashiri, I think, trail of Mount Fuji. I wish I had brought heat packs, he lamented, and then he was heard to say, wait, I think I am slipping. 62 miles west of Tokyo, iconic Mount Fuji is one of Japan's 3 holy mountains, a 12,389-foot volcanic summit visited by religious pilgrims, mountain climbers, and sightseers. The trek is cold and slippery even during the brief summer season when amenity stations are staffed and available for the benefit of climbers. In the off-season, the stations are closed and mountain conditions are downright hostile and inhospitable. A winter climber needs the proper gear, climbing experience, and a booster pack of common sense. Tetsu, alas, lacked all 3. Wearing street clothes suitable for a typical October day in Tokyo and carrying nothing more than a pair of climbing poles, Tetsu fired up his smartphone and proceeded up the Shubashiri Trail, which, incidentally, most climbers use only for descent. Live streaming for the Nico, I think, video sharing platform, he entitles his video, Let's Go to Snowy Mount Fuji. In hindsight, the title implies that Tetsu considered Snowy Mount Fuji as safe as a ski resort or a Christmas tree farm, it says here. Viewers began tuning in, following his happy jaunt up the ash-covered trail. Ashes soon turned to snow, and then to deep snow. Tetsu's viewers were now being treated to a litany of complaints about cold, numb hands and a bitter lack of hot packs. Those watching might have started to feel a bit bad for Tetsu. This was a very good time for him to turn back and resume a life, and then it says, key word, of relative anonymity. A turning point, as it were, but the urge to continue, perhaps motivated by reluctance to disappoint his viewers, encouraged Tetsu to trudge farther into obvious and imminent danger.
This is pretty poggers.
What can you? Right, let's stop. What is that? I see that. What does it mean? I'm not internet
Poggers.
savvy. Yeah, what is poggers? What is pog? Is that PogChamp as well? What is that?
Yeah, like when you pog, when you do. Hold on, let me see.
Pog is it's an emote, right? In Twitch.
That face is a pog.
Okay, yeah. I know that face.
So when you're pogging, that's what you do. Or that was pretty poggers.
How does one pog? Teach me how to pog, Michael.
You try and make the biggest zero you can with your mouth.
Is that it?
It's very. It is? No, there's more to it. It's very much. It's not just because it's all in the face. It's also all in the mind and the body. It's a full body pog. Is a good pog.
Okay.
It's got like a full tense. Like you just saw something amazing. It's like. It's just like that when you take that deep gasp, like.
So it's a reaction to something big and shocking.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's just broke a world record. Pog, 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 pog.
Poggers.
Okay.
PogChamp.
Wow, that's like a whole concept I've just never understood. So thank you.
Really?
Yeah, like, what is PogChamp? I don't understand.
Remember Alf?
He's back in Pog.
See, I did think, was it Pogs? I was like, it can't be Pogs, can it? From the 90s,
no,
Pogs? Surely not.
No, they're not back.
I'm trying to find where the actual word pog comes from, though. Like, what? Because you don't look at that and think pog. You
think
like
omg.
Oh, shock. Omg, yeah. I don't know.
Well, let me know if you find out any more. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Will do.
Anyway, we're back to Tetsu now.
Sorry.
No, not at all. As soon as I can find out where I was in this story. This is a very good time for him to turn back and resume a life, key word, of relative anonymity, a turning point as it were, but the urge to continue, perhaps motivated by reluctance to disappoint his viewers, encouraged Tetsu to trudge further into obvious and imminent danger. Continuing social media commentary as he juggles climbing poles and smartphone in his frost-bitten mitts, Tetsu demonstrates a classic case of misplaced priorities when he states that despite numb extremities, he must continue to operate his live stream. His viewers no doubt notice that the trail has suddenly become narrower, the protective fence has ended, and he is perilously close to the brink. He has now passed the point of no return. There is absolutely nothing his viewers could do except tune out in disbelief or perhaps place wagers amongst themselves on his odds of returning intact.
Oh, no.
Oh, this place is slippery, getting dangerous, he belatedly notices. I'm trying to walk by the rocks. Yes, rocks. It's a steep downhill. Does his audience hear the reassuring sound of crampons gripping the ice as he continues past the end of the safety fence into uncertain territory? Of course not. He did not bring crampons. The slope at that point is 30 degrees, as anyone still watching could see. In his continued play-by-play march along an increasingly risky path, Tetsu frequently cautions himself against falling. Some of his viewers might have given a wry chuckle at his sudden realization of what he'd gotten himself into. His inappropriate footwear now begins failing him as he trips and stumbles on. More than once, he asks himself whether he is on the right track. Viewers already know the answer.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just this is just a slow build to, and then he died. But here we go.
Yeah.
Astonishingly close to the summit for an amateur winter hiker, Tetsu at last utters the anticlimactic words, "Wait, I'm slipping." Experienced Mount Fuji climbers say if you start slipping, you have one chance at self-arrest before it's too late. Even now, Tetsu might drop his phone and jab his climbing poles into the ground. But no, in an instant it becomes apparent that his smartphone is the more intelligent one. This just really ripping into this poor guy.
Wow, yeah.
Wow,
Still live streaming away, Tetsu begins an uncontrolled slide down the rocky slope. Viewers are treated to a spectacle of feet flailing and poles tumbling free. A few seconds later, the phone footage abruptly stops. The final chilling image shows a climbing pole frozen in mid-flight.
Oh my
His viewers promptly alerted authorities. The 47-year-old's lifeless body was found the next day at an altitude of 98,000 feet, 1,000 meters away from where he began his fall. But for a little preparedness, the hero was lost. Gloves and crampons and a sprinkle sense, it says, was all Tetsu needed to create a spectacular live stream on the ascent of Japan's holy mountain. And he might have had another 47 years to relive and enjoy that experience. Watching the video, one can almost feel the mind-numbing cold Tetsu describes, but in the end, cold was not the culprit.
Jesus.
There we are.
That'd be a nightmare to tune into.
Horrible.
God.
Absolutely horrifying. So the story is there. Use common sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely a Darwin Award story in that he absolutely shouldn't have tried it in the first place and should have turned around. And even when he decided not to turn around, he shouldn't have been prioritizing his live stream over his life. But there's an element of like, he was just very, very, very naive, as opposed to people who like look down the barrel of their gun, which isn't working, and pull the trigger so they can see if anything is wrong in there, or some of the Darwin Award stories are absolutely ludicrous, and that is, as I say, still very much a Darwin Award because he was stupid. But wow, it's also just tragic.
It is pretty tragic. The other ones, for context, the slacrobatic effort was someone doing a handstand next to on top of a handrail, keeping people away from a sinkhole, and they fell in. And someone...
That's how you stop people from getting in, is doing a handstand.
Someone went looking for buried treasure, got stuck in the snow and had to be rescued, then went back and died in the exact same spot they were rescued previously.
Oh, God.
Big Darwin
energy. So there we are. I know that was pretty grim. It was really a lot darker than I was expecting.
Sorry, I picked the grimmest.
So, yeah.
What was the plain shower one?
So this one I haven't actually read, so I'll just give you let's have a quick look. The United States is a sizable chunk of continental crust, yet people do purchase planes on the opposite coast because flying home is easy compared to driving. Pilot Patrick, 52, was up to the task of hopping his new plane home. Licensed to fly commercial aircraft, Patrick had 10,000 hours of flight time and an instructor certificate. But during the first 2 takeoff climbs, aviation fuel, 1,000 octane gas, it says, had entered the cockpit and sloshed around his feet. He was warned. He didn't do anything properly. And then what happened? Subsequently, the aircraft took off from Missoula International Airport, made a sudden swift turn and crashed, exploding into a fireball. There we are.
Wowie.
God, okay.
Yeah, really lovely one. There's a photo of it too. Horrible.
Oh, cute.
Great, really nice. So, anyway, that's my thing. I hope you enjoyed it.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Ben.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can we have that at VidCon? Just people dying in
that was
stupid ways.
Well, I don't think there was... You're right, though. That one was less stupid and more just sort of upsetting. So I'm really sorry.
It was beautiful. Lovely. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you for being here, Ben.
Fantastic. Well,
So I'm just telling Claudia, could you please feed Karen, please? She hasn't had tea.
I accidentally just kicked her.
She just kicked Karen.
Oh,
Okay.
poor
Well, now we've got documented animal abuse on the podcast. Thanks.
Goodness
Bye.
sake.
It was a loving kick, I promise.
Good. Do we have is there a final question, or are we... I can't remember how many.
We do.
Okay, cool.
We have a final question. It's a very important one again. Carnival Jackson at It's C Blackwell on Twitter. He says, pick a film. It remains the same, except one of the characters is wearing a fursuit. Which film and which character?
Fast and the Furious, any of them.
Any
Vin
of them
Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Oh dear.
Jaws.
Yeah, I'd like. Oh.
Jaws. And the shark is wearing a fursuit.
I feel like mine's too dark now.
Yeah.
I was going to say Schindler's List. Not Schindler's List, but the girl in the red coat is the girl in the fursuit.
Fucking hell, Michael. Thank you. I want to thank you, Michael, for my thing no longer being the worst bit of this podcast. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for.
I appreciate it.
Good. This went downhill in the space of about 3 minutes. Can I change it?
What if it's just one of the Nazis is dressed as a wolf? I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, why didn't I say that? Why did
you go straight for like the worst one?
I don't know. It's something wrong with me.
One of the most harrowing popular mainstream movies of all time.
I mean, I watched it when I popped a pill. It wasn't that fun. I went to the arcade instead afterwards.
Yeah. What'd you play?
Yeah.
What did you play in the arcade? You didn't go to the arcade. You just did more pills and went in for a repeat viewing, didn't you? You fucking liar.
I thought I was in the arcade, but no. I've just Googled films, and I'm just desperately trying to
What the fuck, man? You know, there's a lot of very popular ones.
I'm panicked.
What about Donnie Darko? But the rabbit is in a rabbit suit.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Harry Potter, but Dumbledore is a furry.
But Dumbledore would be a furry, wouldn't he? I think.
Yeah, he's built for it.
I'm pretty sure J.K. Rowling is built for it.
He's big.
I'm pretty sure J.K. Rowling has retconned that in already, hasn't she?
Yeah,
she already said that
yes.
Dumbledore was a furry, Grindelwald was a brony.
Yeah.
It's all in there.
Trans women are women. Oh, no, she hasn't done that yet, has she?
No, she's retconned it so that they're not, I think. She said that, here's a wild idea.
Hopefully she gets around to that.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Fuck you. Fuck you, J.K. Rowling.
Fuck you, J.K. Fucking anyway, on that bombshell, please go move
Is
on.
that it? We did it.
That's
Wow, we fucking...
I can't wait for the next one where we get 10 viewers because everyone's just said, wow, Michael Johnson took it too far.
Johnson took it too far. I can't believe he told J.K. Rowling to go fuck herself. Unsubscribe. Yeah. Well, the
fursuit question was a bit much for me. I think Isabel has now decided to stop listening.
I don't blame anyone really, but really took just a right turn right off a cliff, didn't we, towards the end of the podcast? But hey, we hope you've enjoyed it. Would you like to know what's coming out on Vidiots, the YouTube channel, 3 years ago this next fortnight?
Yes, please. Give us a palate cleanser.
How do you feel about Worst Games Ever, Pimp My Ride?
Ooh,
good one.
That was like that.
Not wrong one.
No actual pimping, if I remember correctly.
Oops.
It's mainly just dancing around cars and racing around.
Yeah, you do a lot of driving in that.
Do you ghost ride the whip in that one? Is that the one?
You do. Yeah.
Great stuff. How about the finale of Skyrim Zoo, Chapter 15, The Responsible War for Skyrim? It's coming up on
classic.
3 years since that series ended, and he's still not made it to Cyrodiil. We can only assume he was murdered by bandits on the way.
Yeah, or by the Rabbit King, potentially.
Yeah.
Michael did a very good job of that. Ben and I filmed some kind of crap footage of just animals glitching around, and he managed to make a sort of battle scene out of it.
Funnily enough, I was looking through my hard drive at work, and I've still got pretty much every Vidiots project saved on a hard drive on there. And wow. I came across the Skyrim Zoo finale raw files. There's all the uncut battle. It's beautiful to look back on.
And the outtake at the end where all of the rabbits have turned into Uncle Giraffe or someone, and there's just one giant naked man and loads of little ones all at his feet.
Fucking hell. We had Sunday Fun Day, Jurassic World Evolution. Mikey proudly shows off his park in Jurassic World Evolution, and then Ben and Peter make him delete fences so the dinosaurs can eat the guests. Brilliant description there. Memory cards, June the 18th. It's not the final episode still.
No.
Oh, Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Retributions, Stuntman, and one of the Battlefield games. Prove It, Passapart 2, The Starving Artist Part 2. This is the Let's Play. Post some tat number 18. I've had to go to Burger King. That was that one.
What's in the thumbnail for that one?
You're dancing. Peter's, I think, playing some sort of instrument, and I've got my head in my hands. So I feel like that's just a good snapshot of all three of us, really. An episode of Piece of Cake. This was clearly shortly after our meeting with Yogscast management, because it doesn't mention Piece of Cake in the title at all. It's Making Celebrities in Fallout 3 Challenge.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we in an attempt to try and get more notice, we shared the thumbnail. Is this good? Will this get us views?
Is this any good?
Mr. Bean, wasn't it?
It is Mr. Bean.
And Dave Benson Phillips.
Yeah, that's it. Prove It, Passpart 2, The Starving Artist live action challenge, where we painted some art and ate French bread in my flat.
It was a great video.
Yeah.
And a great day. We had your doors open, Ben, and it was a really sunny day, and there was a whiff of fried onions coming into the
from the burger
flat.
boat across the way.
Yeah.
And then we gave the art away at whatever the hell, Insomnia.
Yeah.
So that's it.
We did.
Yeah, that's
Might
it.
still be in people's houses for some reason. There we are. Creating Our Citizen Kane, You're in the Movies, which is, I think, was a second attempt at that. memory cards. June the 25th, Day of the Tentacle, Nintendo Power and Banjo-Kazooie. I can see in the description on this last ever memory cards.
There it is.
RIP memory cards. We did it.
On that episode, did we even talk about the games? Did we just bullshit on the couch?
I think we just fucked around.
There was a lot of dicking around in that one for sure.
That was the best episode of memory cards
because we didn't have to do it anymore. Brilliant. But then,
thing is, I've said this before, but if you go back and watch any episode of memory cards, pretty much, they're quite fun actually. I always misremember it as it being fairly dry, and we're mostly just talking about the games, but there's usually, someone throwing the microphone at someone else or back chatting in the background. It's good. It's a fun show.
It is.
Yeah. Rest in peace, memory cards.
Although we were glad it was done, but then we followed up immediately with episode 9 of Podiots, which was called Devastated. Post some number 19. Miley's biggest fans. This is where we got a poster and some shirts, I think, of Miley Cyrus.
Brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Worst games ever game selection, and then finally we have worst games ever Shrek Treasure Hunt.
Oh, that game.
That is what's coming out 3 years
pixels.
ago. It is, yeah. Over the next fortnight. And there we are. That's what's coming up. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We're now going to... Well, I suppose actually we should talk about merch, shouldn't we, Michael?
Yes, we should. Store.yogscast.com. If you head on over to this beautiful website full of magnificent garments, you can head on over to the little Vidiots corner where you can find some lovely shirts, hoodie, and mugs. Ooh-wee. And
lovely.
better yet, if you think the prices are too steep, then you can get a delicious 10% off your order using code Vidiots, and you can use that on absolutely every item on the Yogscast store. So go get yourself a bargain. Why not?
Go have a go, Philip.
Yeah, no, you want.
Jeepers chips.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots official. We're also on twitch.tv/Vidiots official. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. Donate £3 or more, that's pounds sterling, to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast, and join Pod Squad. You help us out. It's really appreciated. Mikey's going to kick us off with the Pumpy Platoon.
There it is. Keith Chegwicks, Tommy the Master 80 engine, or Master. I feel like that's missing
it's
something.
It's a wanking joke, I think. Judging by the follow-up username.
I get it now. Tommy the Master 80 engine. I know it was a stretch. Thank you. River Fox is now 30. Congratulations. Alan Claw. Fundamental ferret funding, like a shat out of hell. Barry B. Benson does pizza. Cheggers plays plops. The generous, that one birthday boy Sam. Fucking hell, it's hot. Cheggers, hot coffee mod. Hoy Rodgson, Soy Bodgson. Cum Body once told me. The generous Kevin from Con. Large battered Podiots. Just like Jesse James. Spread cheeks, bum piss. Extra 50s worth of Dettol. Miskalisk and Toast Burn.
The tiny troop was Benside Cam. No witty names on Ick Gauge. Cheska Lobrotovich. Pro Trainer, who was very, very generous. Emily Lemons, Stephen Skodes, Kat Deely and Les Dennis on meth. Jester the Rogue, Stukalicious, Stoke on Chegs, Brooks Essentialist, Having a Birthday Wank, Freddie Price or Coles Weber, Specky Becky, Donak07, the very generous Fuckety Fuck, Bring Back the Unity Bar, Katie Kinsolo, and DBP Accounts.
And in the fast crew, we have Finn Tristram, Checker Gorge, Tiny Peter, Backpacker Beater, Spunk Bob Jizzpants, Willy Wonka's Wankrag, Shreddy Murphy, the very generous Michael Chegson, Mr. Black, Dick and Minge in the Bungalow, Sandra Bollocks, Scrummy Brummy Yummy Bummy, the very generous Surfer Doggo 3 Woo Wee, Mr. Macca, and I'm Ben, Prince Beefcakes, Just Keep Swimming Ash, Dave Benson Chegwinson, No, Mostly Silent Cobb, and the Noel Edmonds Society. That's your Pod Squad. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations, £3 or more. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Mikey, where are you hiding on the internet?
I'm hiding at Parrot Boy on most places. If you just Google that, you'll probably find some old accounts. Actually, don't do that. God,
No, don't do that.
I was a shit when I was a kid. But best place to find me is at Parrot Boy on Twitter. If you go there, you can see a picture of Jerry Seinfeld dressed up as a bee and flying around Cannes Festival.
I've seen that.
Bee
It's
movies.
amazing.
It's fucking spectacular.
You
So
like jazz?
go look at that. Go look at that. And I also stream occasionally on Twitch.
There he is.
At Parrot Boy.
Look at that. I've not seen that. That's amazing.
I can't believe they
What
didn't do a
is he doing?
sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm just spamming all the images because it is genuinely amazing.
Very
By all the known laws of physics, Jerry Seinfeld should not be able to fly. But Jerry Seinfeld flies anyway because he doesn't care what humans think.
Looks like he's flapping his arms really, really. Is that Chris Rock?
Oh, yeah, it is. Wow.
Nice sweater,
How
Chris
weird.
Rock. That's nice. Lovely. Peter, where are we?
We are at that Peter Austin, that's me, on Twitter and Instagram, and Ben is at confused_dude on Twitter. But together we are Team Triple Jump on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon as well, if you want to support us over there. But, it's two different things. Support whichever you like. Different frogs, different times. But go check us out. We're doing lots of videos and streams and things, especially for E3 as well. So we'll have been doing some coverage over the past few days.
Absolutely. Go check it out. And finally, why not leave us an iTunes review or a review/rating on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. Do we have a question that people can answer in the comments?
Maybe just do the planets that we didn't get round to, because we did not do them all.
No, we
So,
didn't.
what are the other planets made of?
Nice.
Which cheeses,
Nice.
basically. Which cheeses are they made of? Right, we'll catch you all next time. Thank you so much for listening. Look after yourselves. Bye!
Bye-bye!
Goodbye.